Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new challenger to the single axle lineup. Brand new this year is the all-new Airelume. This right here being the 172. So this is going to be a rear bath. This is the one that we're going to check out right now. But if you want a bunk model, they also make the 170, and I'm going to review that one as well. So let's head on into the 172 here, kind of show you the layout, and then we will talk about the exterior. First off, can I mention, man, I love the front here. It looks so good with the bed, the wall board, the storage underneath, the accent lighting. I think they did a really good job aesthetically in the Airelume, especially given the price point. So as we come inside, you know, this probably won't be like super mind-blowing, but one of the things I think that may really impress, especially given the price point, is that right there. The fact that this has a slide out. It really opens this space up for being a smaller, lightweight camper. We're under 5,000 pounds GVWR, and it has a slide out. Now, it is an above floor slide, but that's okay, because what that means is when this slide is in, you can actually walk on this thing, you can sit in here, and it's not gonna damage the slide mechanism. That's huge. Let's kind of go through the kitchen here. We'll make our way around. You see that it has 2-burner cooktop. It does have thermoformed countertops. I'm impressed with that. It's a nice upgrade over like a T-mold. Undermount single bowl stainless steel sink with your faucet. Big window here, folks. This is something that a lot of single axles, if you pay attention to, they'll try to, I don't want to say cheap out here, but they generally use a smaller window because windows are expensive. And I really like that they put in a bigger window here. Dropping down underneath. Now, they did stuff a bunch of stuff, components and things down here. I would have loved to have one that went all the way to the floor for a spot for my trash can. Not a deal breaker. I can still stick it right here. I just would have liked to have had it, underneath the sink. It just seems like a little bit more natural flow for me. Now, up top, you will have storage. You can see the two-tone wood panels. Open that up. You can see the storage in there. It doesn't have a hinge or anything to support it, so just know that you do have to hold it open, but you do get that extra storage space up there. Coming over to this side is the fridge freezer. Not bad at all, right? Good storage there too. Pretty happy with that. Underneath, and again, we may have seen something like this before in some other floor plans similar, but we have our converter right down there, and then right next to that is going to be a furnace. So yes, you can do kind of that shoulder season camping, right? Like into late fall, early spring, things like that. Now back into the bathroom, pretty darn impressive countertop space, honestly. Like, I really like that they extended this all the way out for a rear bath. It's this size. You have good shelf space here as well. Foot flush lever toilet. I mean, obviously, if I sit down, I'll have more than enough leg room there. It's not going to be an issue. Something else I really like about the Airelume line is this right here. Not the fact that it just has a tankless, but folks, not all tankless are made the same. So in the Suburban lineup, you essentially have two different levels, right? You have a 42,000 BTU and a 60,000 BTU. And even though this is a very affordable unit, they still went with the 60,000 BTU. So you're getting lots of hot water. It works really well. Love that. 6 foot tall. I can stand up here thanks to the little vent fan. Without the vent fan, I am touching ceiling. So if you're any taller than that, you're going to have to duck down a little bit. But at 6 foot tall, this bathroom does work for me. Now, kind of coming back out and around, we're going to talk about this because I like this too. This is really cool. You have your microwave right up top here underneath. I'll drop this guy down. You can see it's magnetic. Look at that. You have a little spot for K-cups. I think that's a really smart design. You have a spot for a coffee bar right there. Coffee maker down underneath is going to be additional storage. Now, if you're not a coffee drinker, no big deal, right? This is small enough and compact enough. Honestly, most people will probably not even realize it's there, and you can just put whatever else you want there. Now, over into the slide is our large dinette. Now, this does drop down into a bed as well. It's actually a pretty good sized sleeping space. I mean, you can see how big that table is. It's a nice wide table. The thing I like about it is it only has one leg. The other part is attached to the wall. So that makes this table nice and sturdy. I mean, I'm shaking this pretty hard and it's barely moving. Whereas if you have just like the 2 pedestal legs, the table wobbles a lot. So I really do like the table system that they used. Also, down underneath, take a look at how big the storage is. Like you get all of that storage access underneath the bench seat, and it's nice and easy to access. It's actually one of the advantages of having the above floor slide is it does make accessing that just a little bit easier. You don't have to bend down as far. Now let's talk about the window here, because this is actually intentional design. So when we talked about the kitchen, we talked about glass being expensive. So what they have done is, instead of giving you like a taller window here, like most manufacturers would, they made it a little bit narrower, but they stretched it across. So you're getting about the same amount of glass. But the reason they did this is because it gives you a little more privacy, right? Our view, what we want to see is this. We want to look out at our campsite. We want to look out at our fire, you know, and see what's happening there. We don't want to look across the way and see what our neighbors are doing. But what this does is still allows in natural light. You can slide that window open, still get airflow in here as well, but then you have, you know, a little bit more privacy. Plus, if you want to put like a cushion or a pillow or something up here, it provides a better backrest too, because you don't have a window frame right there. So definitely a few good, design features that they included in here. Right up on the ceiling, I do just want to show you that you do have an AC in this unit as well. So yes, even if it is hot, that will do a good job of keeping things nice and cool. And then as we take a look kind of at the very front, we get into that bed again. Folks, this right here is a 60 by 80 residential size queen. That's awesome. Now, yes, it is going to be east to west. It's not north to south, so you can't walk around it, right? So the disadvantage of this is that whoever is here will have to roll over this person if they have to get out of bed first or in the middle of the night to use a bathroom or something like that. But the fact that this is a residential size means you can take your queen mattress from home, pop it right in here, and you are good to go. In fact, they kind of designed for that, and you will see the shelf is nice and high. So that way, even if you have a thicker mattress, whoever's here is not going to sit up and hit it. So they intended it that way. It is built for a thicker mattress to put in here. Not that this one is bad, right? Like, this is definitely a passable mattress. It's honestly nicer than what I've seen in a lot of smaller single axle floor plans in this price point. But again, it is easy to replace if you want. You have your electrical outlet and USB port right there. TV will be right at the foot of the bed. That is a fake TV, folks. That is not real. It is prepped for one. It's just for looks. So if you want a TV, you do have to put one in yourself. But you will see the hookups for it are right up top there. And then as we drop down underneath, I love what they did with the storage bins. Again, this is just super smart design to give you space for some of your clothes, right? Because that's what you're gonna have to think about. You get the big bed, you give up wardrobe space. So this is where your clothes are gonna have to go. But again, I think they did it well. And then over to the side right there, you kind of have that cubby hole. And then you have the accent lighting kind of down underneath. But what do you guys think of the bed system? Do you like kind of what they've done here, having that residential size bed? Would you rather, you know, have like a wardrobe, have more shelving at one end? Let me know what you guys think. I want to hear about it. But before we go, let's take a quick look at the outside. All right, we got a single axle coach here. So as you would expect, right, when you have a little bit more entry level price point, there's not a ton to cover, but we'll go over a few things. There are going to be some features out here that I want to hit on. Of course, we'll have our 20-pound propane tank here. It is not here currently because we're at a show setting, and they require us to remove the tanks. Behind that, you will see a battery disconnect, so you can just cut all power to the coach. And then making our way back, this one has 4 stabilizer jacks. You get one on each corner. Now, while that's super common on your larger travel trailers, that is not necessarily the case on your smaller single axles. So I do like to see that they have the stabilizer jacks on all 4 corners. The pass-through, kind of dropping down here, you'll see that you do get the same size door on both sides, which is nice. So no matter what side you are accessing, if you put it in here, you can get it out there, which is great. The one downside I will say is I did not find any lights in here or switches for them. Again, not a deal breaker, but just keep that in mind that, you know, if you're getting into it at night, you may want like a little portable light, battery powered light, something to put in here, just like a nice little addition for you. Kind of taking a step back, we'll see the power awning right there. That does have the LED light strip, nice and clean. 2 steps to get into the coach. The door itself does not have a window. And again, that is just going to be something for price point, helps lower that price point a little bit. Kind of coming over to the side a little bit. This again, I think I'm glad they did this. This is 100% worth it. This is the 60,000 BTU tankless water heater, fresh tank fill. You'll see your electrical outlets will be located right there. It does not have an enclosed underbelly. I dropped down, so you know, I guess I can kind of show you here. So if we take a look underneath, you can kind of see your tanks and stuff under there, right? Again, not a deal breaker per se. Just know that if you are doing like colder weather camping, that, you know, the chances of your tanks freezing up on you are going to be higher, just because there's no protection in there. It's not insulated. So You know, if you are kind of camping in those shoulder seasons, you know, the late fall, just be very careful. You'll see right up top here that this one does have your prep for a ladder, so you can climb up onto the fully walkable roof there. You also see backup camera prep. City water inlet is going to be right down below here, as is the spare tire. Coming around to the side, 30 amp detachable power cord. And then I just want to show you the slide system. This is honestly a huge win, folks. Most manufacturers, when they, you know, putting a slide on a single axle like this, they're going to go with like a cable slide system. They did not. They went with the power gear. So you can see right here, it's actually driven underneath. It's an above floor slide. It's a great slide system. I'm actually really impressed they put that on there rather than like a worm gear, you know, like a worm gear on the side here or a cable slide. So definitely, I think they've done some really great things, right? Like I said, there's some things that, you know, that I think could, not necessarily could be improved, but some minor things, right, that I would have liked to have seen. But the things they did do, I think, are definitely a big step in the right direction. Let me know your thoughts. What are you thinking here on the new Airelume? This is the 172? Yes, the 172. This is the couples coach. If you want price and availability, I will leave a link down in the description. Thanks for watching. I'm Ian Baker. Until next time, we'll see ya.